Hey guys, it's Kate, and I'm here with a quick watercolor today. I'm going to actually mix my MozArt Komorebi palette with some watercolor pencils, the vintage Derwent ones I have. So first I'm going to grab my spray bottle and wet my palette. I love this thing, by the way. I just started using it. I also have a little 2-ounce spray bottle here. So I've got kind of a thick brush. I am going to put a bit of a background on my pad, which by the way is Artist Loft paper. So I'm going to go for kind of a light background that's also sort of earthy, green, yellow, that type of coloring. So I'm just going to go on here. I'm going to use plenty of water, get it nice and dreamy looking. And I'm going to come in with my spray and just let that really spread out. Got the yellow ochre. I'm going to come in with some of this olive green and come into some of these other areas. And I'm not really paying too much attention where I'm going. I just want kind of a nice light colored background for my florals. Let's see. Let's go in with a little bit of this gamboge. And I'm going to come in with just a little bit more water. Let this all kind of trickle in. And I think what I might do is come in with just a hint of red. So I'm going to go in here and grab this crimson, and I'm just going to drop it in to a couple little areas and give it a little bit of another tone. This is going to have flowers in it, so just a little hint of some redness in the background, and as it blends with the green and yellow, it's going to neutralize a bit, but that's fine with me. It's just going to add a little bit of extra. So I don't want a ton of water left over on my paper, so I'm blotting and just getting up some of the excess that kind of dripped over to the side. Whoops. Don't want that. And my flowers are going to be kind of in this area, so this works out nicely. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. We're dry and ready to go. So I've got my palette moistened already. I've got my brush here that's wet, and I'm going to start off with my yellow. And I'm going to get some pigment on this. And actually, let's put a little bit of this in here to warm it up a bit. I'm going to come right in here. I'd like to do a sunflower. Just like this. And I'm just kind of using the side of my brush here. And I'm going to have this facing the front. And I'm just kind of coming in from the outside here. And I'm going to come back in with my yellow ochre and just add some little details. And I'm keeping this painting pretty loose. Okay, now I'm going to put another sunflower, let's say right about here, but I'm going to make this tilted the other way, like that, and kind of have it facing up and away. And I'm going to go back in again with the yellow ochre and add in some of that extra detail. I'm going to blot a little bit of this color just so it's not puddling up. All right, nice. Now I want to go in with some nice rich green, and I'm going to double dip. So I'm going to put one side of my brush into this olive green and the other half into this grass green. And I'm going to make some very loose leaves, just like this. And I'm going to, whoops, double dip again without messing up my whole palette. And I'm going to come right in here into the flower. And get some more. I'm going to even dip slightly into this Payne's Gray. And I'm going to sort of cut in around my flower petals a bit. And get it almost like a negative painting. I'm going to dip again into this Payne's Gray just a little bit. I don't want to make too much of it, but I'm going to get a little bit of these darker shades in here. Just like that. I'm going to get a little bit more of this green. Maybe get some yellow into it. And I'm going to come in here with just some loose color. And just kind of come right in here and let it blend. And maybe here, and just get this loose. I'm going to dab up a little bit of that Payne's Gray. It's a little bit dark, so now since I've got this center done pretty well, or dried pretty well, I should say, I am going to come in with some brown and some of this burnt umber and that leftover yellow that I had, and I am going to drop this in with my liner. And this might be still a little bit damp, but that's okay. That'll let it spread a little bit, but not too much. And I'm just being kind of loose here around the edges. Now that's got a nice little base of brown, so I'm going to come into my deep black and just kind of drop it in a little bit and darken it in some areas so it's got some texture. Just like that. And I'm going to let that do its work. And then I'm going to take my liner brush again, go back into that yellow ochre, and really highlight some more of these leaves. Or I should say petals. Just like that. Add a little bit of water here and let that kind of combine with the green. And same thing here. And some more of this yellow maybe. And come into this grass green. And add in some stronger lines. Right here maybe. And have a couple coming out of here. Now, I'm going to come back into this olive green, darken this up again. Just like that. Come in with this darker green down here at the bottom. Let that blend together a bit. I'm going to come back in with some of this burnt umber and just add some little leaves, little branches. All right, we'll let that dry. Okay, I'm back with a couple of Derwent watercolor pencils. I've got kind of a purpley lavender color and a little bit of a blue, and I'm going to put in some lavender around here. Just some little sprays, and I'm thinking I want one kind of coming down this way, one down this way, and one up toward the corner. So my paper is still a little bit moist, but that's okay. I'm just going to kind of color this in. And I'm even going to dip the tip of my pencil a little bit into my water. Just like that. And that really makes the color kind of come out. And I'm just going to do these little sprays. And dipping the watercolor pencil into the water really gets it going with that pigment. So I'm going to go in here with the blue first. And I think that should do it for that. So I'm going to go in with the purple now and go right in over some of that to give it kind of a two-tone appearance and let that kind of blend together a little bit. And I'm just being very scribbly with my marks. I'm doing sort of a V shape, but not incredibly detailed. I just want to get some variety in color here. Just like that. I'm going to come in with some of this. It kind of matches the sunflower, and I'm going to give that a dip in the water too. Some of this brown. And I'm going into some of this damp paint, which kind of makes that have a little bit of a nice blend. I like it. All right. I'll add some texture. Let's go in with this green. So I'm going in with a damp pencil, and then I'm going back over it with my liner brush to wet it a little bit more and give myself some dark details. Okay, I'm going to go in here with some plain water and wet this area. Not too much, but I'm getting it good and damp. And I'm going to take my liner brush into my deep blue and add a couple of little splashes here. And then I'm also going to add a few in here up at the top. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this white. All right, we're all done and dry. I am going to do the satisfying part and take off this tape, if I can get it off. All right. And I like to tape down the bottom of my page here, but you can always cut off this little white strip if you wanted to. I'm going to even just tear this off the pad. But I like how this turned out. It's super loose. It's just a nice little exercise in doing flowers. Let me give you a close-up. And I like the different colors in there. But I hope you enjoyed doing this with me today and got out your watercolors. And I will be back again soon with another video. Until next time, keep creating.